particularly from Friday. So on Friday we had that open note quiz, and it was a short class because of the pep rally. I wanted you guys to turn in all this work, and I think some of you might have the work done, but you just didn't turn it in. So I want to talk about that and give you a chance. What I don't want is if you didn't do it, turning it in. I just want to make sure I'm being fair with the amount of time in class you had to turn it in. It was pretty rushed. On Friday, let me put it up here. Okay, so here's your problems. Some of you are gonna not have to worry about your assignments. You turn everything in perfectly. You can work on these bell work questions, completing the square. But I'm gonna change the screen for a moment. I will come back to this in a bit. Yes. So you guys have permission right now to get right into that Chromebook and check your grade for this class. Right here, what you see on the screen is what I collected on Friday. It was 16 points total. We got 4 points for page 405, 4 points for page 406, 4 points for the review, and 4 points for a factoring worksheet. Y'all be quiet. Listen. Okay. So what I noticed is that a lot of people just turned in this one for the review. A lot of people just turned this in, and that is 4 out of 16 points. So you had a lot on your mind. It was pep rally and the quiz. So I want to right now give you a chance to understand that I need this page for 4 points. I need this page for 4 points, and I need this worksheet for 4 points. I don't want anyone doing these right now. Okay, I already went over these answers in class. I went over all of these and asked questions in class. There was a video posted with all the work and answers before the quiz. And then I went over at least 2 of these in class. So I shouldn't see anybody doing this right now. But I do believe some of you might have it and you just didn't realize you were supposed to turn it in on Friday. And it was rushed. So this is your chance to look through your folder and turn it in. I'm going to pass back to you what I got from you. So you know exactly what I got and what I graded. A lot of you guys did. A lot of you guys got a full 16. Very good job. Let me just give you what I got, and then you can compare it to people who got full credit. Good job. What are your questions? She told us to oh shoot, no I didn't. Make sure your name's on it. I will take anything right now, but your name has to be on it. Put it in the basket, and I will look at it and I will update your point. That's actually not it. It's that one that you have.
Wait, that's not what we're supposed to do? You're not supposed to.
Alright, so listen up. Also, so you know that this content is still in play. This was a chapter 3 quiz. We still have a test on this, so don't just because there's a grade on here, don't throw it out. You have a test and a Bellwork quiz on this content. So some of you might have Bellworks mixed up in there. Don't throw it out.
Can you come see?
There's a Bellwork quiz after every chapter test. The test I think is November.
So you think you're fun?
Sylvia.
Yeah, I did.
Can you not touch my stuff, please?
There's actually a lot of open desks now. Ladies, if you want to move, you can move.
Thank you, miss.
Yeah, there's a lot of open
That's crazy.
No, I mean like.
Bro, you're that annoying. If you don't touch me, it's if you don't touch me and send it to you, why can't you just be nonchalant?
Hey, Liz, you forgot something? Yep.
You want me to stay with this paper?
Liz, you forgot something.
Blaze, you should move over
It's not
here.
yours? Are you sure? Okay, just like every year.
I don't think Kit Kat's the one that every year you give them one Kit Kat.
Like, it was towards you, was it? That's crazy. Why not?
Wait, miss. I did pretty well.
You know, once you know those, you know, they just you know, sit down with the car. Just go in.
Everybody in this room got their first back.
No.
Wait, miss, I got you.
But if you want to start reading, I didn't know the problems on the board. What I learned is after those problems, you should. That's it.
Wait, before you go, miss. Wait, okay, so by my understanding, you did this. Thank you. Which chapter we review?
Alright, so if you wanted to turn something in, now is your chance. This is your last chance. I didn't want to give you time to do it. I just wanted to give you time to figure out what I was collecting. So I'm going to change this to screen. Has everyone written this down that needs to write it down? And we're good. That's okay. I'm really only expecting 2 and 2 class. Turn it in. It's okay. If you finish it, that's better, but turn it in. It's fine. No, that's okay. Please keep what I handed back to you. It's going to be that material is still actively being tested on. So here you go. Here's the slide out thing. All right, let's get back on track for class today. The idea was to do a quadratic formula assignment for homework today, but because it is a holiday, you might be doing things with your family or your friends. This assignment is not going to be due until Sunday, so please don't feel like you have to rush home and finish this perfectly today. We'll work on it a little bit tomorrow. So this is your Sunday. If you're done and you have nothing going on, feel free to do it. If you were present the day of the substitute, did you start it? I can take a look at what you got done and let you know if you get more time. Okay. Right. Like if you didn't even open it and start anything, but I can see like how many attempts you made on a certain assignment and if you watched any videos and things like that. So about the Khan Academy, when I'm not here, a lot of times I do assign a Khan Academy. And I think it's really appropriate to hold you accountable for that. I know there's a lot of classrooms here where there's a sub and you guys just look at it as a free period. But I think what's best is just to encourage you to work independently. There's a lot of students in our program who do not self-start, who will not access materials on their own. Khan Academy is perfect to encourage that independent work. When you're in college, it's all about independence. You have to be self-motivated. A lot of people who start do not finish because you're only in class 3 hours a week, and the professor lectures and does not tell you to do assignments. Like, you figure that out in your own time. So when there is a sub here, I am expecting you to self-start. Even if everyone around you is goofing off and doing nothing, I'm going to hold you accountable for that work. Motivate yourself. Get in there. If you don't understand the Khan Academy because it's worded different than class, it presents differently, you should watch the videos and read the articles. Everything is there. And that is good practice for you to get into something that looks a little bit unfamiliar and to work at it to figure it out. Okay, so it's not a free day when there's a sub in here. If you take a free day, whatever, no judgment, but it will be a 0. I always make its own column for substitute work, and so you won't get points. That's all. All right, so like I said, this doesn't have to be done for homework. If you have things going on for the holiday, you should enjoy that. But our agenda is to start the quadratic formula. So after I do these two completing the square questions, I'm hoping you guys are really getting the steps and you're figuring it out. So let's get into it. Okay. The first thing I do when I have to solve is I try to factor because I find that the quickest way to solve a quadratic. So I'm going to look at this 18 and I'm going to say, is there anything that multiplies to 18 and will add to 12? So I first think of 9 times 2. But 9 times 2 makes 11 when you add it. So that doesn't work. So then I try 6 times 3. But 6 plus 3 would make a 9 in the middle. 1 and 18 would make a 19. So nothing works. Okay, so let's just scratch factoring off the list. It cannot be solved that way. So mathematicians, they're pretty clever. They said, well, let's make this something that we can work with. Move the C. Get the number out of there that is not working. Step 1 is to move C. So I'm going to take this 18 to the other side. Israel, this is what you missed yesterday. Okay, this is it. This is your moment. This is me. I'm doing it all over again. If you were absent yesterday, this is the whole lesson all over again. Full review. Day 2. So when I move that C value over, I leave a big blank space for a better number. I'm going to put something in here that works well with this 12 because the 18 was not cutting it. Now, because I want to put my own number here, you can't just put numbers into equations. You have to follow the properties of equality. I can put a number here, but I also have to put it over here to keep the equation balanced. So my new number is very particular. It is the b value divided by 2 and squared. So I'm going to do negative 2 divided by 2 and square it, negative 12. And that's going to give me the best possible number. 36. Put a 36 here and a 36 here. And that 36 is going to be way more useful than the original 18. So my new problem is x squared minus 12x plus 36 equals, what am I going to have over here? 18. Happens to be 18. Now we've set up something that will work. This problem would not factor. This problem factors, and it factors the easiest possible way. It factors using square roots. So we'll rewrite the left. This is going to be the square root of 36 is 6. So we'll do x minus 6, and it's minus because the 12 is minus. And that's called, when they match like that, you can write it once. And that's called a binomial squared. From here, square root both sides, solve by square rooting. So the problem's been manipulated and reworked so that the square rooting method can be used. A square root bar will cancel out a power of 2. That's why we did it. And we have plus or minus the square root of 18. Add 6. And x equals 6 plus or minus the square root of 18. I definitely am. I definitely am going to simplify that. This is a very good job. This is an answer. This shows what x is. And the whole process is done right. However, you won't ever see the square root of 18 left like in a multiple choice test or in a textbook. We don't. We simplify the 18 like Penny just said. So let's look at the square root of 18 for a moment. It's a decimal, but it can be rewritten in a more simple form. 18 is the same as the square root of 9 times the square root of 2. Square root of 9, and you have a regular 3. So we have 3 square root 2 here instead. So the best answer is 6 plus or minus 3 square root 2. That's it. That's the whole process. I hope you guys are starting to work through those steps. It was kind of a big flow. Who's got a question about any of the numbers in there? All right, next one. I think this just to remind you that if you can reduce a problem in step 1, do it. Do it if you have to factor it. Do it no matter what. So I see here that these are all even and they can all be divided by 2. I'm going to divide them all by 2. All right, let's do a little thumbs up if you finished this problem. Okay. I'm going to hang tight and give some more people time to finish. If you are done, you can turn it chapter 3.4, and the very first page of that shows the quadratic formula. If you want to write it down and start reading about it. So from here, it's the same steps I just went through. Move C. Do the formula. Factor them in. Square root. Oh, you finished it? Is it imaginary? Yeah. It's just a little too long. Is your eye under the bar? It needs to be outside of it. Because when you turn the negative to an eye, it's not outside the bar. Alright, Rowan, what's our first step? Move the 30. The 30 doesn't work. I'm thinking, what multiplies to 30 and adds to 10? And nothing. Nothing works. So I'm going to get the 30 out of there. Move it to the other side. Subtract it from both sides. And I'm going to put a big blank space in for a better number. And the better number is very specifically b divided by 2 and squared. Get yourself a 25 on the right and left. And rewrite the problem. So our new problem is x squared minus 10x plus 25 equals negative 5. And that's going to work out better because this is a special type of problem. It's a perfect square trinomial. You can square root 25 and factor it. X minus 5 times x minus 5. Any questions so far? Okay. From here, we're going to work this like it's a square rooting problem. So it's kind of like two methods in one. It's factoring and square rooting. We got x minus 5 equals plus or minus the square root of negative 5. And I see this and I automatically think, beware, 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 we're square rooting a negative. We got to do something about that. That negative square root should come out as an I. It's kind of like the square root of negative 1 times the square root of 5. The square root of negative 1 is I, but 5 doesn't simplify. 5 is a prime number. It's an irrational square root there. So that would make it x minus 5 equals plus or minus I square root 5. And then add the 5 over, and x is a regular 5 plus or minus I square root 5. And you can't put the I after. Just be careful that it's not under the bar. It should not be under the radical bar. Sorry, this is probably in your way. So who's got a question? All right, we just went through the process 2 more times. Let's look at the assignments from yesterday because some of them had some fractions, and I know that can be a stopper. So we'll spend some time looking at the problems that have fractions so you can ask questions about that. Yesterday's assignment was 22, 21 to 28. So here's number 21. Actually, let me just show you 21 and 22 at the same time. So when I checking this, I will look. Let's say I'm checking 22, it's an even problem. I'll look first at the radical. Do you have a 7? And if there's not a 7 there, I go right up to the top and I look. What did you do first? Did you add 6? Did you leave a blank space on both sides? Did you put in the correct number? Did you use a plus or minus sign? Oh. So just make sure you check and figure out where you're getting stuck or where you're going wrong. Right there. You get far on this one? Did you get any of this assignment? 222. Alright, any questions on 21 or 22? Alright, let's scroll. Here is 23 and 25. So they're kind of randomly mixed in here. This is the answer to 23. And this is 25. 25 is kind of weird. This is where people stop participating. You have to distribute to start. And then you also have a fraction. If you don't like to add fractions, use a calculator. 1 plus 81 over 4 is 85 over 4. Put that in your calculator and I believe it'll just do the square root of 85 over 2 for you. How did you arrive at 12? 21. Yeah. Your first step is to divide everything by 6 by base. Yeah, you know the answer time. I'm gonna answer it. I marked it as 0, so it's done. That's all. All right, any questions on 23 or 25? Let's look at an even problem. Let's look at 24. Here's 24. If you didn't do any of them, right now try 24 as a good idea. All right, we'll move from 24. We're still on 24? Yeah. Let's see it. That's an easy fix. Here's 25. You're show 25, right?
Yeah.
Right here's 26. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And here is 28. A lot of people not finishing 28. Like 28 is a true honors problem. Okay, this is honors algebra 2. 28 is the one that should be on the test. Okay? Don't skip the fraction. Don't fear your fractions. At minimum, get very good at using fractions in your calculator, you know? Know your calculator well. Spend some time on this. Don't just skip over it. How do we do 1/2 squared? Oh, 1/4. But then what goes in the parentheses? The square root of 1/4 is 1/2. Oh, but where did 7 come from? Well, I just got a common denominator here. Just do -2 plus 1/4. Your calculator will do it. The main thing is just having the motivation to do it. Because you guys see it, it's too much, I don't want to do it. Not too much. Getting the extra GPA for standing in here doing honors problems. Might as well do them. Right, let's look at that. So this is tricky. It's 1/4. When you go to your parentheses and it's positive, you're supposed to put the square root of that 1/4 in there. So that's like the square root of 1 over the square root of 4. That's 1/2. Like right here, this was a 25. My parentheses is 5. And square root is 2. The square root of fraction is just the top, the bottom. So the square root of 1 is 1, the square root of 4 is 0. That's exactly the question you should be asking. Where did the 1/2 come from?
Why is it I-7?
Because it was 1 times 1.
I ended up with a -7/4. Do you have a -7? Are you fine with a -7?
Wait, because it's -7?
We're square rooting -7 over 4. You really want to look at that as the square root of -7 over the square root of 4. And the square root of 4 is 2. A lot of times with these problems, you're square rooting 4, your denominator is 2. Okay. And then anytime you square root a negative, you need an I. You want to simplify it completely. Take the I out and leave the 7 underneath.
Alright, thank you.
Who else wants to ask about these details? Looking up it makes very little sense. It only makes sense if you're actually trying the process on your own. If you actually move the 2 and you realize there's a 1 and you ask yourself, what do I do with 1? We're actually just going to do one more of these. And then figure out the quadratic formula. Did I show all the answers? Okay. 27, and I think it was. Here's 27. Now 27 didn't start with a 4 and an 8. It started with I think I divided by 7, so it must have started with a 28 and a 56. So step 1 is to divide both sides by 7. And that's how these numbers came about. Right, there's a 56 there, right? Yeah, okay. Which one should I do? I'm going to put a problem up here in a moment for everyone to try. All right, here we go. All right, everybody, solve this problem on the screen. This is my last time going through this process.
Is there homework today?
No. It's not just us. I mean, it's not even kind of this public ideas and assignments like that.
But can I still do the Khan Academy stuff?
You were here the day of the sum.
But I was confused on the paper.